everybody. You did one hell of a job. And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah! How about them Cowboys?
And now, it's Talking Boys with the Boys. Now, it's Talking Boys with the Boys.
Cowboys familiar. What's up? This is Talking Boys with the Boys, and we're back again with some of that Cowboys fuego. But first, a little business. Please take a minute to share and subscribe. Subscribe. Leave us a rating and a review wherever you find this pod. 5 stars and a couple of sentences on why you love this pod will be greatly appreciated. And now, the conglomerate, the panel of homies. I'm your host, Adam Y, along with my co-host,
Mark D, also known as Preseason Mark Stradamus D.
Hey.
This is Dreezy, one half of the original Two Dudes with Attitudes.
Hey.
And this is Mario, also known as the optimistic pessimist.
I like it. How y'all guys doing tonight, man?
Real good, man. Real good.
Everybody's back. We're all back, baby. We're all back in the building, talking boys with the boys, man. Mario, what you sipping on over there?
Man, I got that 8-man's 8 beer today.
You already know what I got. I got the old faithful Texas whiskey in here. Mark D, gotta stay.
You know
hydrated.
me, I stay hydrated, baby. Essential. Going for a jog a little bit later.
He ain't lying, y'all. Dreezy?
I ain't lying.
Now I got this Corona Refresca. It's pretty good.
Hey, those are pretty good, yeah. Those are good.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, let's jump into this thing. Mark, bring us in with some Cowboys news, dog.
What's good, Cowboys Nation? Look good, feel good, pod good. Let's eat, baby. It has begun. 1 down, 2 more to go to the main course, boys. Today on Talking Boys with the Boys, we're going to discuss the ups and downs of Saturday's 7-7 preseason loss to the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
We made 5 cuts today by waiving cornerback Kyron Brown, tight end Ian Bunting, defensive tackle Austin Fiolu, wide receiver Ty Freifogel, and fullback Ryan Nall. Dude, that was like a speech exercise, bro. This roster is saying no to flour tortillas and yes to masa by trimming the fat from 90 players down to 85. If those players go unclaimed, they will revert to IR and likely receive settlements. Back to you, BB.
Hell yeah. Well, y'all heard it there, man. But let's jump into this thing, man. Guys are getting cut left and right, trimming the fat, baby. You know how it goes, man. But, man, what I want to ask you guys first, man, is I want to get your likes and dislikes of the first preseason game against the Broncos, whether it be players, coaches, penalties, etc., man. I just want to let me get your dislikes and your likes. I feel like there might be a whole bunch of dislikes, but let's go.
Honestly, man, I got a like right off the bat, and my like is my 4th cornerback on the board right now. That's DaRon Bland.
DaRon Bland, baby. Mm-hmm.
And, bro, you mentioned him a little earlier. Actually, last season's episodes when we were talking about draft picks, stuff like that, just discussing a few guys that we picked up. Yep. And you mentioned from a safety standpoint, but God, dog in the slot.
Yes.
Hey, that boy out there doing something real nice, man. I mean, they even made a comment about it on the telecast. They wearing number 30. He's looking like a starter out there. Some other guy with the name Brown on the back.
Yeah.
He's kind of resembling a little bit of a starter.
Yeah.
But I mean, just to discuss what the dude can do and can't do, he sticks to the receiver. I mean, they were not getting any separation on this dude. He's a sure tackler. And when he hits the receiver or anybody else he's been hitting, they go back. They don't just stop. They go back.
Facts.
So I mean, DaRon Bland for me was a huge good positive from that preseason game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And he wears number 30, just like Brown used to wear.
Mm-hmm.
So he really is looking like him out there, being able to play outside and inside. What did you not like, Mark? What was your dislike?
Well, I mean, look, we all the consensus in the Twitter, bullshit universe was, oh my God, this offensive line, oh my God, there's this, that, and the third that's going wrong with them. Now, from a pass blocking standpoint, there was some issues. There definitely were.
Yeah.
But from a run blocking standpoint, I mean, they had Davis averaging 6.8 yards a carry, 6.4 yards a carry. I saw some positives and some negatives. Tyler Smith had a whiff on a block up the middle where Cooper Rush had to get rid of it a little easier out to the flat. And I think if maybe Cooper would have had a little bit more time, that maybe that would have been, a completion for a first down instead of an interception like it was. So some of the negatives were some of the technique that some of our offensive linemen had. That's a big negative for me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I backdoor Mark too, man. A guy I was high on, or a guy that I like too, is DaRon Bland, man. And I'll read off something to you guys real quick, and to the listeners out there, and to the viewers out there, man. I tweeted this 5/2/22, man, and I said cornerback DaRon Bland, possibly our next free safety. And the reason I said this was because we were already deep at cornerback, right? We were all in on Kelvin Joseph. And we had drafted Nashawn Wright with the 99 pick overall, and Kevin Joseph in the second round. So I was just like, there's no way this guy's getting any kind of cornerback action, man. So maybe free safety, because we were leaning on Hooker, hopefully staying healthy, guys, right? So I tweeted this 5/2/22, man, and I said his cone split was 7.26 on his 3-cone. He had a 36-inch vertical, has the speed to close the distance. Has the speed to keep up with shiftier players. He also changes direction smoothly with great hip fluidity, a physical hitter, and he tracks the ball well, man. So I had this report written up on the guy, man, and I'm happy that the guy's getting in there and really showing what he has. And like Mark said, man, we're possibly looking at number 4 on the depth chart, because we got several guys falling, man. And one of the guys is, like I said, that I dislike right now, Kelvin Joseph. So no more needs to be said with the guy. The only thing that sucks is right now, I know a lot of guys are talking about him possibly being a roster bubble, right? On the roster bubble, which sucks because we spent the high pick, the number in the second round, man. And we Asante Samuels was there, guys of that nature, man, and they could really ball, dude. And we passed up a lot of guys, man, to get this guy on the team, man. And once again, it was the Jones special, man, a guy who, a troubled guy, you know what I mean? And it seems like it's really not working out. I don't know where his head's at. I mean, hell, y'all know the situation, hell, and that situation, regardless if they said you're an innocent guy or whatnot, that still fucks with your head, man, because you were there that night. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. He's falling down the depth chart in my opinion, and I think he's behind right now. Real talk, DaRon Bland and Nashawn Wright, though.
Well, from my standpoint, you know how I feel about that. About KJ. Everybody knows how I feel about KJ. Yeah. But I also don't think I don't see it bad enough to where you got to cut the kid. You know what I mean? As far as, because remember, you can't have too many corners, just like you can't have too many pass rushers. Yep. And KJ, well, from what I saw from that game, the technique's off. He's very grabby. It doesn't look like he's really learned anything from the scouting report from when he came out of college. But, hey, if 1 or 2 corners go down, we're going to be, shitting ourselves trying to get KJ back.
Facts.
And Nashawn can't play the slot, everybody. I'm sorry. That dude will not be in the slot.
Nope. I agree.
He's not built for that.
No.
But for me, I mean, the like for me from the preseason game was the running game on both sides of the ball. Mark, you mentioned that the pass protection was a little sketchy, right? But the run game was on point. So the Cowboys had 141 yards rushing and 28 carries. That's 5 per carry. Malik Davis looked good out there, man, to the point where I think this rookie can push Rico Dowdle for that running back 3 spot behind Zeke and Pollard. And there was some chatter out there today on Twitter, which I ain't buying too much into, right? I think, it's been 1 preseason game, right? But somebody out there on Twitter said, well, what if Malik Davis playing so well that we can trade Pollard and Malik Davis can take Pollard's spot? And I'm like, whoa, calm down, man. It's been 1 preseason game, let's see how this plays out, right? So the running game looked really good. And especially on the left side when Tyron was still in there, along with Tyler Smith, they look really good. Like I said, average 5 yards per carry. And on the defensive side of the ball, man, that defensive line beasted up on Saturday against Denver.
Neville Gallimore looked like a man amongst boys.
Oh man!
Credit to Credit
He was a lot
to
bigger, huh?
yeah. Credit to Gallimore though, man. And I mean, he's doing what he was supposed to do. So reports were
You're right.
Reports were the
dominate those
Broncos played one starter Saturday. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where that falls at or whatnot, but that's what you're supposed to see. You're supposed to see how dominant, and he looks really dominant. Another guy too that put on size, Mark D was that boy Ghostin. That boy looks big.
You know what I was surprised in though, man? Sam Williams as a rookie.
Yeah,
dude, hey, seriously, I mean, he's a biscuit away from Mac when he was a rookie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, man, and when he can move from speed to power, when he can bring that rush, that was something pretty serious, man. I like the way that kid looked, man.
Yeah, real quick, Dreezy, was that called bullshit on Sam Williams?
Oh yeah, it was bullshit in the fact that, like, in real time, I was like, okay, goddamn it, Sam, get it together. It's his first game, I know. But then the more I watched it, he didn't even take a step. Like, as the quarterback threw the ball, he was already on. It's not like he took 2 steps and just hit him. No, he took no steps. He was on him. So if the refs are really going to be calling that, I truly feel bad for every defensive player in the league, because that's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a penalty every drop back. Like, it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and Mark mentioned it last episode in his Mark D's Corner, man, when he said the league is harping down on quarterback hits and things of that nature when it comes to quarterbacks with penalties, because supposedly there was way less of flags being thrown on quarterbacks last year. And so basically, I guess, and probably they seem like they're like lawmen, man. They want to get a quota going or something. Like, man, y'all motherfuckers better throw at least 20 a game.
Man, I'm telling you, they look like a bunch of dudes trying to get quotas for speeding tickets at the end of the month.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, maybe the reason for that last season was maybe defensive players are getting smarter.
Yep.
And they're actually understanding now, okay, if I do this, I'm going to get called for a flag. So they're not doing that anymore. And they're actually playing the game right. Because if you really look at what the hit Sam Williams put on Rippin, that was ridiculous, man. I mean, he couldn't have done it any better.
That's textbook 101, bro.
Yeah, he's coming in with speed, rushing the quarterback. He didn't hit him in the head. Mm-hmm. He led with his shoulder. He put his helmet in his chest. You know, that's what you teach kids in Pee Wee football. You put your face mask in their chest. That's where you hit them.
Yep.
You know, so he did everything right, and he didn't drive him into the ground. You know, he made the hit and he pulled back. And he got the flag anyway. Mm-hmm. Like that shit's ridiculous, man. Like Williams played great, and I think the whole line played great on Saturday. Like I said, the way they stuffed the run, the way they rushed the passer.
Remember, Josh Ball's really part of the line too, bro. Mm. I mean, I wouldn't apply great to the moniker next to Josh Ball, bro.
No,
I mean,
Josh Ball has got to go.
Josh Ball's not played great.
Yeah, no. Josh Ball is not a professional lineman. I'm sorry, man. I don't want to overreact. Yes, these dudes are doing way more than I've ever done in life, but he is not a professional lineman, man. He needs to go.
I agree. I agree. And that's why I tweeted out too, man, yesterday, man. I was like, man, I need a left tackle and a right tackle, man. I'm through with the swing tackle talk, man. The swing tackle talk is just like, what for, man? I know we cannot be leaning on a guy like Josh Ball, dude. Hell no.
Well, when you look at what his weaknesses are, you know, I mean, his feet are stuck in mud.
Yes.
His hands are horrible.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, man. And in the point of attack, he's getting pushed back. Mm-hmm. He's just off on every aspect of technique, you know, and that brings me to Tyler Smith, because some people were looking at it as that was the negative for Tyler Smith in that game. Yeah. That's another phantom call, because I'm sorry, that pancake block was a pancake block. Mm. I'm sorry. He drove old boy into the ground.
Yep.
You know, now the positive to it also is the sense of he's getting called for similar things that he was in college. It's not like he's getting beat and then grabbing to try to compensate and getting a call. He's pretty much manhandling, but getting off on his technique still. But I give him a B+ to an A for that game. Tyler Smith.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He played that. So we did 10 minutes. The defensive player was running away. You know, the run was to the outside, and the defensive player tried to run that way, and Smith just grabbed him and shoved him. But he was so strong and shoved him to the ground, it looked like it was a penalty.
But let's be honest, not all the penalties were phantom calls. There's a lot of penalties.
No, you're right.
That we need to fix. First game or not, there's too many fucking penalties, man. It's just a replay of last year, and it's just Mike McCarthy allowing his team to do bullshit.
Undisciplined, man. Undisciplined, which brings me to this next topic or question, guys. McCarthy supposedly benched Dante Fowler after committing one too many penalties. Was he wrong? And is this sending the wrong message to the team, man? You know what I mean?
It was one penalty. He got one unnecessary roughness inside the 5. And what was he doing at the time? He was defending one of his teammates, right? One of the guys in the offense had taken it too far. He came in, the second guy always gets caught. And this is just a theme of this offseason that I'm really not liking, man. It's
carrying over.
It's carrying over. And these guys, why is McCarthy basically telling them they cannot defend their teammates? Because that's really what it is. So the message that he's sending by benching Fowler is, don't go out there and don't bleed and don't fight for your team. Let the other team do whatever they want to you. They want to punch you in the mouth. They want to kick you when you're down. They want to call your mama a hoe. Let them. Don't do anything about it because we're better than that. No, man. That's taking toughness out of the team. That's taking that bonding moment away from players. For players to know, like,
I got your
man,
back.
this guy, this guy took a 15-yard penalty for me because fuck that. He's not gonna let this dude do this shit to me. So for me, that was wrong. That was wrong on McCarthy's end, man.
I didn't think it was possible for me to hate McCarthy more than I do, but every time I hear him talk, I hate the dude more and more. Yeah. I hate hearing him talk. I hate hearing him get pissy at a reporter for the reporter bringing up the penalties. Yeah. He's like, I mean, they're just numbers, and the numbers can just skew any way you want them to. No, dog, they're fucking penalties that we're still committing, just like we were doing last year. Like, don't just dismiss it. It's crazy.
Well, sometimes I think his arrogance on the podium translates over into some of these calls, to be honest with you. Facts. I think that you look at this, you look at what happened in that preseason game. You look at this disparity of penalties that we had as compared to what they had, and everybody can put it on the star. Everybody hates Jerry Jones, Cowboy, shit like that. But what that really looks like is a coach that doesn't take responsibility for shit, blames refs, then pisses them off, and then challenges them in a preseason game with certain things. Now, to go back to the Fowler thing, though, like sometimes at face value, it looks like a certain way, right? And I got you. You're right in that sense, Mario, on what it represents. But there's also certain things that happen. We don't know. A lot of stuff what was going on with Fowler maybe as leading up to this, or even this was a regular season game. I don't think that would have been so lengthy of a lesson, or even a lesson in general. Yeah. I mean, this was maybe a time that he was trying to get other people in, and this is an excuse for sitting Fowler's ass down. Because he did look good, didn't he, Mario?
He did.
Yep.
He did. He
showed that quickness coming off the line. For sure.
He came clean on that one pass rush, man, and got right in Dallas Johnson's face.
Yeah. Yep.
My thing is, look at him. Look at the guy. Yeah. Nah, hey man, but we did talk about this last year, and we also talked about the same fucking issue when shout out to my boy Dean Blandino was on the podcast. Mark brought it up. There was some type of control practices that Mike McCarthy did in Green Bay with referees, where he would bring them in and try to figure out what it is that the team is doing wrong or right, and why they're getting called on these penalties, man. And we talked, and we're like, will Jerry pay for that, right? What, you know what I mean? And it doesn't seem like it's happening, man.
No, nothing happened from that, big bro.
Yeah.
Nothing happened from that, big bro. Like, we brought that up as some way to fix this.
Yes.
As a way to get penalties during the preseason when you're in practice to prep you for situations like this.
Yep.
We talked about it. We talked about the monetary aspect of it. So we knew why Dean didn't really want to discuss it, because then you got to make these guys full-time employees. Yes. You got to give them benefits, all that type of stuff. Yep. But do you know that the refs that have actually been at practices and joint practices, fucking high school refs?
Yep.
Like, this is bullshit. Like, one of the things that we looked at as one of the biggest things to try to fix this penalty problem and this flag problem was getting real NFL refs.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
But now it's just pissed on the leg. Right. You're just like, well, that didn't work. You didn't even try it. That wasn't even attempted. You know.
Yeah.
And we look at all different types of things, and we don't even try one of the things that I thought would have been one of the biggest ways to try to get an emphasis on the right type of calls. I mean, these high school refs are out there doing what? Getting autographs from players? You know, what are they really going to make a call, dog? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't prep you for shit.
No, absolutely, man. And we see this as a reoccurring thing, man, at the end of the day. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where we go from here, guys. I don't know what Mike McCarthy's doing. We're not in those team meetings. Jerry's been emphasizing this since the end of last season. We need to clean up these fucking flags. These penalties are killing us, dog. Killing us. And we're still doing it, dog. Like it's carried over, and the shit is getting wild, man. It's getting to the point where I feel like these young players can't even develop as quick as we need them to develop, because I mean, fuck, anything they do, flag. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, well, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? Or what do we do as players? And I don't know. Go ahead, Mark.
Speaking as that though, you know, there was a guy that didn't get the kind of credit that he deserved for a few things that he did real positive. It was two players. One, which was Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert was getting separation left and right, man. He was getting separation from those corners. Hey, he was getting separation, man. That's why he was getting targeted 7 times.
Yep.
Now, the thing about it is, dude, the thing about Cooper Rush, though, is he looks like he's looking over his shoulder. He looks like he's waiting for somebody to take his job.
Yeah.
He does. And that just ain't going to work, man. That ain't going to work from this standpoint. But Jalen Tolbert, and the other is our punt god. Our punt god has shown that he is still going to be everything he was last year, man. Hey, yes, seriously, dog. Not enough people talk about that dude, man.
Hit us with it.
He's beginning to look like a punt god. Beginning to look like a punt god. Hey. Man, hey, I heard somebody even say that he's one of 2 of the best punters in the NFL.
Yeah.
And everybody just doesn't even recognize that, you know?
Yeah, a weapon. I
didn't realize the boy's 6'5". I didn't realize 6'5".
Yeah, man, that's a weapon, dog. That's a weapon you need, especially in the league.
He's long and lean.
His what?
He's long and lean.
Hey, that's what she said. Yeah. Well, at least not tomorrow anyway.
Not tomorrow. Hey, but getting back to Cooper Rush quick. Can we talk how ass Cooper Rush is? Like, seriously, like we need to talk about how this dude is he's in his 5th season. How does he look this bad in his 5th season?
Hey, you want to know how bad he looked? He made Uncle Rico look good.
Facts. Yeah.
Best game old boy had, Danucci.
I'm watching these other teams, you know, quarterback 2s in there doing drives. I mean, we do not, and please don't bring up the game last year versus the Vikings. Yes, he's got that. He's got that for the rest of his life. He can show his fucking grandkids that tape. I'm talking about now, dude. Why do you
everybody has one?
Honestly, Dreezy, he didn't even look good in that game. He had a few things that saved his ass, to be honest with you, man. Cedric Wilson, right down the pipe, saved his ass. Okay? Up until then, we were all going, fuck, okay, defense. And we kind of forget those types of things. It's not like he just went in there and balled out. You know, there were a few dudes that saved his ass quite a bit. And what I'm seeing right now is a dude who's regressed. And like you said, a dude who's looking over his shoulder. Out of the quarterbacks, the dude who had the best night was Will Greer by not playing and letting Cooper Rush go in there and make him look good, bro.
Make him look good. Yeah. Hey, people, everybody was Will Greer, man. They want Greer.
Hey, Cooper Rush was like, hey, Will, I got you, dog. Sucking it up, bro. I mean, seriously.
I need my guy Greer to get back healthy and take that spot, man.
Yeah,
that's what I need.
They're saying he has a chance.
So what? No love for the Nooch? Come on, man.
He's got caps. That's all he's got.
Hell yeah.
He's got caps and sidearm throws.
All right, man. Well, like I said, dog, at the end of the day, man, going back to the McCarthy thing, the Dante Fowler getting benched, you know, I don't know, man. I just don't know where we go from here, man. It's very alarming. And like we stated last week, man, flags getting thrown everywhere, and it's going to be a continued process. And we were did I read this right? We were the most penalized team last year.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So it seems like it's carrying over this year.
No, we did the number trends with McCarthy, how he was in Green Bay, how when he first got there for the first 3 to 4 years that he sucked ass, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking flag was his best friend. They were gonna make a new color for this fat motherfucker. Like, seriously, man. Like, dude, like that's the thing that I take from the game the most. The flag aspect of it. You want to talk about pass blocking or this, that, and the third. I don't really judge, like I talked about with preseason games. You can't really judge one guy when he's got a guy that's going to be sacking groceries right next to him playing. You can't judge him based on his individual job because he might be doing, the other guy's job as well. So some of those things that you look at, man, it just, Mike McCarthy, the only difference between last year and this year is he looks like he slimmed down. Same shit. Same bullshit.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, you don't want to, as far as McCarthy goes, you don't want to panic right now, right? But one narrative that I do not like, and he set it up at the podium, I mean, in so many words, is like, they asked him about the penalties, and he's like, it's the first preseason game. It's like, no, man, I don't want to hear that. This shit goes back to last season, to the playoff game. You're the most penalized team in 2021. Like, you can't come out of the first preseason game and have 17 penalties. And I believe that the league average is like 6.2 in the first week of the preseason. So you can't use that excuse because other teams are not doing that shit. And first it's, well, it's just preseason. And then after that, it's like, well, it's only week 1. It's only week 2. It's only week 3. And before you know it, we're like fucking 2-5 to start the season because of this dumb shit. So
he's already pissing on our feet, waiting to piss on our legs, man. That's what he's doing. He's pissing on our feet, waiting to piss on our legs, man. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I think it's sprinkling. No, you're pissing on my foot.
That's
Stop.
right.
Like, seriously, man, with everything he's saying.
Hey, does anyone else notice how much Mark brings up pissing and the things he pisses on? My guy, you got a problem?
Mark, I mean, Mark Kelly.
You went to high school with me, motherfucker. You already know.
My mind's telling me no, but my body.
But my bladder is telling me, oh shit.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, Mark brought up the wide receiver Jalen Tolbert earlier and said what he really liked about him and how he was getting separation and how he looks like he's going to fit really well, man. So this leads me to this question, man. Reports say Dallas Cowboys are banking on Dak Prescott to elevate this inexperienced receiving core. Is that a good or bad idea, and why?
We talked about it as being a positive. I mean, we said we could do it. We might. We're hoping for that. I mean, don't get me wrong, but then you might be going a little bit of this on that if you're really hoping for it too much, because we've got 2 examples of that being a positive and a negative. Cedric Wilson's the positive, all right, but Noah Brown the first time is the negative.
Yes, sir.
So we do have examples of that could be a positive and negative. That seems like just too much sunshine blown up my ass for not enough production. Yeah. But I will say this, Jalen Tolbert, like I said, on those 7 targets, I'd say about 4 or 5 of those, he truly had separation. And if Dak was there, he would have got the ball. So.
I mean, I appreciate the confidence in our 2v1, right? But haven't we seen this before?
Yep.
There's a reason we traded for Amari Cooper.
Yep.
Right. And I'm not saying Dak hasn't grown since then. It's been 3 years. It's probably in his prime right now. But it's just another one of those things of the Cowboys hoping that this goes right.
Yes.
Instead of having some sure things in there. And so like I said, we went through this with Amari Cooper before. He couldn't elevate the guys that were there. And you can go back and forth on that all day. Like, was it Dak or were they just really that bad? We needed a wide receiver 1 to come in and Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Right. But that defeats the purpose of what we're talking about right now. Like, why are you leaving this to chance? you got to look at the other quarterbacks around the league and what their organizations are doing for them. You know,
Hey, Mario, do you mind if I read a tweet earlier? It was a really good tweet.
which one?
Do you mind? Your tweet about this earlier. You said, I'm tired of them banking on so many things to all go in their favor at the same time.
Yep.
Throw a few sure things in there around your franchise quarterback. You know, like the Bucks, Rams, Bills, and Bengals do. Shoot, even the Eagles went out and added talent for their middling quarterback.
That's
right there.
It's there. You know, I mean, look, the guy that we consider to be the best quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, right? What have these organizations, the Patriots plus, you know, the Bucks now in his later years done for him? Look at his receiving core right now. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, you know, last year Antonio Brown. Like, why is it a crime to surround your star quarterback with talent? I feel like Dallas, you know, they're like, well, we're paying him $40 million a year, so he's gonna have to do this. And I understand what they're doing with their team construction. They're really focusing on the defense right now.
Yep.
But why are you forcing your quarterback to make more with less when you can help him in that regard?
But you see, the thing about it is, though, I feel you on that, definitely. But what you're talking about when you say that we've seen this book before, we've seen the rough draft of the first copy. We're in a novel now.
Yes, we are.
Okay, we're in a novel now.
I will say that too.
That Dak, I had dumbasses telling me he was the best backup in the NFL.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
So but what I'm trying to say is, we all laugh at that statement, but I'm trying to say is that was the narrative that people were trying to build on his abilities. Ain't nobody saying that bullshit no more. And if you would, they would think your knowledge on football is remedial. Nobody said that before. Nobody said that type of shit. And the thing about it is, Mario, I get what you're saying, but Amari Cooper was a bridge player, bro. He wasn't going to be here on a long-term deal with what they wanted him to be. That's why they drafted CD. The thing that I get what you're saying, but how much of a difference would bringing OBJ in, who's going to be here at week 9, make, right? How much of a difference would Emmanuel Sanders really make? I don't know. I really don't. You know, we hear about these guys making progress. Now, if we were hearing about shit coming out of camp, they were like, oh my God, you can't even get separation. If they were like, oh my God, this is a big problem, then I would be with you on that. But I got to side with a little bit more of the front office on this sense, because I do get you. But at the same time, we've been talking shit about Aaron Rodgers not having help all the way to the fucking championship game for a while now. Right?
So you're focusing on the receivers, right? Wouldn't you say that offensive line is also part of that not helping Dak? Like, how bad are we right now? We heard the shit that
Tyler Smith was the first round pick we got for him, though. But you see, that's the thing, though. We judge Biotish as not being ready. The fuck do I know? I'm not a coach.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Seriously. So I can't sit here and really call for somebody's job like other people do sometimes, because, you know, with shit like that, that shit pisses me off, because you better know the job like a coach to call for a coach's fucking job.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's my thing. If you don't know the first thing about offensive line play, don't tell me that Philbin sucks. When I called for running game Moses coming last, but it's a different blocking scheme than what Philbin does. You know, Philbin has a different blocking scheme than running game Moses. He's more emphasized on the pass, doing a few things. The other thing that I saw too was, you know what, we're going to put a lot of emphasis on, and you guys, this was not a smokescreen. Those tight ends were doing work.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Those tight ends were doing work. And now when you put Dak in that same situation with Ferguson, look, Hendershot looked real good. You're right, Dreezy.
You're right, Dreezy.
But when I rewatched the game, you might have fell asleep in the second, because that's when Ferguson was doing his damage, and Hendershot was balling in the third. You know what I'm saying? He led us in reception, so I don't know, dog. But no, man, I do get what you're saying, Mario. I'm not dogging you for it, because that is one aspect of it. I do get what you're saying. But I've actually convinced myself with the moves that Stephen Jones has made to this point, going, okay, wait a minute. Hey, hold up. I gave him an A 3 weeks ago for the moves that he's made to this point. I can't say, but you didn't know what the fuck you were doing with these receivers, because guess what? Those are Will McClay stamped receivers too.
Facts.
Okay?
Facts.
I'm not sitting here acting like Stephen Jones went and did the fucking research for these guys.
Yeah.
All right? I'm not. Will McClay stamped these guys.
Yeah, and we can also look at that season as compared to this season. Like we said, we're saying Dak's not the same player. We all said that. right? But we're also when comparing these receivers to that group of receivers, I mean, Allen Hurns, dog, fucking Cole Beasley, dog,
Deontay Thompson,
a rookie, Michael Gallup. That ain't even the Michael Gallup that we know now. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you don't even remember. Oh boy, what was old boy's name? Number 17. We brought him from the Jags. He was supposed to be something very serious for us. Slot outside.
Hurns. That's Hurns. That's Hurns. Yeah,
Allen Hurns, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's Allen Hurns, man. So compare that core to what we got now, dude. I understand. When we chopped the head off, man, and let go of Dez, right? And decided to roll wide receiver by committee. There was really not a prominent guy. There wasn't a CD Lamb, dog. There wasn't a guy who last year gave you 1,200 yards. You know what I'm saying? This year, it's totally different. CD Lamb is that guy. He is your wide receiver one. You know what I mean?
You see that's it though, right there, Big Bro. Because the thing is, it makes it look from a microcosm of this year. You can look at it and you say, look at the wide receiver core. Fuck the front office, fuck this up.
Yeah.
Did they? Or did they set up something that now is in fruition and they want to see if they're going to be paying CD Lamb $30 million a year next year?
Yep.
Okay. Because look, they had Amari in place. We drafted CD Lamb right after. And it's not like we drafted CD, I've said this before, to be his number 2. We drafted CD to take his job one day. That's what we did. Okay. So we just drafted Jalen Tolbert that a lot of people had going in the second or the third. So I got to sit here and go, hold up. I can't really bag on him, right? With hoping and saying, man, this is just a hope in the dark, and we've seen this hope before because Dak's better, much better.
Yeah,
we saw that last year with half a leg. He wasn't considered a bench player anymore. Whatever. So, and we and everybody has said that Dalton Schultz isn't what he's supposed to be because of Dak, right?
Facts.
That Dalton Schultz isn't. That these numbers are hollow because Dak has made him into that. Yeah. Everybody talks about Dak's garbage numbers. Well, fuck. I mean. All this shit just sounds like a bunch of shit that you want to talk down on Dak. Not you, Mario. I'm just saying people want to talk down on Dak and then just put negativity towards the wide receiver core. When you look at it as a whole, I mean, shit. If CD can be Devontae Adams light, we're good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
be hop light.
With
shit.
Everybody there is that. So it feels like the way it got set up this in. And Gallup's injury didn't help. You know, he got the extension, but we got to wait for him to come back. It just feels like CD is the only sure option, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those scenarios like well, yes, but as far as the wide receiver core, you know,
the wideouts.
If something were to happen to CD, then what? You know, who do we have?
Like, but why is it separated?
There's nobody.
I know what you guys are saying with the wideouts, but if he's the second most targeted player on the team, he's a fucking wide receiver, guys.
Well, true, but he doesn't line up on the outside. He lines.
But you want to bring somebody in, like you're talking about, like, okay, let's bring Emmanuel Sanders in or somebody like that. Why, if they're not going to get the targets?
Yeah,
and they're going to get relegated, and Dalton Schultz is getting the targets. Like, I get what you're saying. You're saying the wide receiver room. Yeah, I get it. I got it. But the linebacker room attaches to the safety room too.
Yeah. I mean, that's
just like the tight.
Yeah. That's I agree. I agree too, man. And that's one of the things I've been trying to harp on as well, dog. I mean, Dalton Schultz is being heavily targeted. You're not saying that stuff about, and I'm not trying to compare player to player. I'm just saying target wise. You're not trying to say that about Kyle Pitts in Atlanta, and because he's a tight end. You're like, oh yeah, he's a weapon. He's getting the ball. Him and Cordell Patterson. So why couldn't it be the same thing here? I mean, if we have a healthy Zeke and a healthy Tony Pollard, then I mean, they wouldn't. I guess they would have to make something work, right?
I mean, let's think about the numbers. Let's do the math real quick. So let's say CD gets 1,100. Let's say Dalton gets 1,000 or 1,100. That's 2,000. That's 2,000 yard receivers already.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then I can get Noah can give me 500, 600. Jalen can give me 500, 600, and we're still good.
Yep.
I know they weren't banking on Washington getting hurt, right? Obviously, but I think the first few weeks, man, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be real.
Real rough.
What's the word? It's gonna be rough, man. Because like I said, we are hoping and praying that Michael Gallup has the best and most seamless ACL recovery ever. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying we are really hoping and praying that Michael Gallup has no complications. We're banking on a 3rd-round pick. We're banking on a Dennis Houston. We're banking on a Noah Brown, who all of us on this podcast have shit on in the past, very recently, and a Simi Fioku, who we all either wanted to get cut a few weeks ago or moved to the fucking tight end room. So
but
I'm just saying.
But on that note, though, at the same time, we all look at it from a certain negative standpoint rather than a positive standpoint, too. Because we look at this as losses, and then, oh, my God, what the fuck are we going to do? Okay, what if we're 3-0 and Michael Gallup's coming in and they're like, look at this new toy we got. That happened all last year, every time. And we were all fucking sitting here in gloom and doom with our dicks in our hand. Oh, DeMarcus Lawrence, is he coming back? What the fuck are we going to do? Neville Gallimore's out of this. What the fuck are we going to do? You know?
Well, it's always in my hand,
right
baby.
Here. It's just
I came in with my dick in my hand.
Hey, I got it with my foot in your ass. But I'm just saying, like, I think we're. Hey, look, Cowboys Nation in a whole.
Yes.
Even people on this podcast at times can be negative about it, myself included. Okay, yeah. But we don't look at the positive sometimes because we sit in the doom and gloom of what the fuck are we going to do till Gallup gets back. But what if we're winning and then he's a positive coming in, like DeMarcus Lawrence was, like Neville Gallimore was, like you know. I mean, the other side that they're not talking about with certain things, with that nobody is really discussing, is Micah was unblockable, untouchable. They couldn't even count how many sacks he had in the joint practice. You know what that does for the offense?
Yes,
that
sir.
makes you that lets you do whatever the hell you want. Puts you in positions to win. Okay, they coincide with each other. You know, so I don't know, man. I don't look at it because the other thing is I looked at Gallup and I saw him running. Ooh, he looked pretty good, man.
I mean, and guys, we I know. Look, the we're not trading for nobody with a name, right? No. We're not. We're also not going to. But there is roster cuts that's happening, dog. You know what I mean? People got to let go of some manteca, some meat, some fat. You know what I'm saying? And there's gonna be a guy or two that can probably come in and help this team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys got to and let's just not go, oh, well, they're probably just going to get rid of a guy because of whatever. No, some guys are going to get cut because they have a rookie who can do it for cheap, just like the Cowboys think, right?
But not Dante Fowler, Mario.
Yeah, but some guys are going to let go of wide receivers.
Hey, Basham looked really fucking good.
Who make good money.
He did.
Who make good money because a young wide receiver can come in and make it for 3 times less than what they're making it. So there's going to be options, man. It ain't going to be the options we all want, but hey, it is what it is.
The thing about it is the ultimate deodorant is winning. You win, and they look like geniuses. People talk about how good they are at what they're doing. You lose, and people talk about you being a bonehead. Okay, I mean, y'all tell me the dominant receiver the Patriots have had in every damn fucking Super Bowl. No, but they have great coaching, right?
That's right.
And the thing about it in the NFL, though, it's not like Bill Belichick. But the thing about it is not like Bill Belichick's up here and everybody else is down here, man. It's not like that. Yeah. There's a formula for doing it. There is. All right, and when you get that formula right, you look like a genius. But if you don't, you look like a dipshit like us for the past 10 years. Which it's fluctuated, though, too, because it's been up and down. I mean, when we brought Will McClay in, that old regime of doing things in a stupid fucking way and letting Jerry just buy whatever he wanted went away. I mean, DeMarco Murray's contract, great. DeMarcus Ware contract, great. Everybody bitched about those contracts at the time, too. So
Jay Ratliff's.
So, hypothetically, what's going to happen? We start the season with the Bucs and the Bengals. Say we start 0-2. Zeke's running for 42 yards a game. The receivers outside of CD aren't doing much. Schultz is doing his thing a little bit, but we got 2 losses. Let's say 2 convincing losses. Which is possible. The Bucs and the Bengals. How are we going to feel week 3? Gallup's still not back yet. I'll give
you a simple answer. I'm questioning Dak. I'm questioning Dak because I put him in a top 5 category. With the top 5 quarterback, those things don't happen.
But you're going to question.
Convincingly get beat by the Bengals and the Bucs. Dak, there's a problem.
Yeah.
2 favorites in their conferences. 2 favorites.
The Bucs might not even have Tom Brady, and if they do, he's probably thinking about Giselle leaving his ass.
No, Tom Brady's going to be there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I'm not scared of fucking Tom Brady either. I'm sorry, Dreezy. I know he's your boy, dude. I'm just not scared of Pop Gun Brady. Yeah. I'm not.
The GOAT.
Yeah. Man,
I got that. But that don't mean shit right now. Michael Jordan ain't shit right now.
I will say this. I will say this real quick, Dreezy.
I'll bust MJ's ass in one-on-one right now.
If we lose convincingly, though, to those two teams coming out, you know what I'm saying? Man, come on, dog. Come on, dog. It starts with the coaching, in my opinion. Then we got to look at what Dak did or didn't, or what Dak didn't do. Because I've seen other less talented franchises, their offensive coordinators do enough to get their guys schemed up and ready to ball and move that ball regardless, dog. I mean, you think about it, dog. You look at what the Falcons had last year. Cordell Patterson, dog, and Kyler and Pitts, right?
Pitts, yeah.
And dude, they were able to move the ball efficiently with Pop Gun. Who? Matt Ryan, right? Okay, so that's what I'm getting at. So if we lose convincingly those first two games, and like you said, Zeke's only averaging 40 yards, probably 1.5 yards per carry.
I'm questioning Dak.
Tony Pollard's not fucking. They're not even letting him get 50% of the fucking touches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dak's getting chased down from God knows who, dog, running him down, or he's throwing interceptions, or receivers ain't getting separation. There's an issue there, man, and it starts from the coaching, and then it goes to Dak, in my opinion, dog.
Well, you see, that's the game this front office has been trying to play for at least 5 to 10 years now, though. They've been trying to get the right coaching staff in place since Jason Garrett, in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
We've been trying to get the right coaching staff in place. Now, I agree. I think it's Sean Payton, Dreezy. I can't, put the tooth under my pillow and wish too hard. I can't do that, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to ride with what I got right now.
Yeah.
So when I look at it, to me, it looks like we've been trying to do that. We're not spending the money. The smart way to do business in the NFL is spend money on your coaching staff and try to build through the draft with your players. Yeah. Because then you're going to have the know-how to do it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the Cowboys have been trying to do, but it hasn't been working out quite as well. Now, I do have one thing that somebody told me has a little bit of legs, not just bullshit. I don't want to tweet it because everybody starts coming for your ass. I heard from somebody that knows a few people in the building that there actually is a little bit of legs to Antonio Brown from Jerry's standpoint.
Sources.
That Steven and Daddy are fighting. I'm not saying I want him. I'm not saying
yeah.
You're the one who wants a fucking veteran wide receiver, Martin.
This reaction right now is exactly what
I'm giving you the best. I'm giving you the best thing on the market right now, bro.
That dude's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
the Matumbo finger wag.
One word.
You're not worried enough about Dak to bring that idiot in.
No.
Nope.
No, because he's a
okay, good. Me neither. Me neither.
He's crazy in the head.
Yeah.
Adon, you said one word that I think makes a huge difference in this discussion that we're having, and the word that you said was convincingly lose.
Yeah.
The first two games, right?
Yeah.
So let's say we come out week 1 and we lose to Tampa Bay 23-20, right? And then we come out week 2 against the Bengals and we lose 31-27. Is anybody really going to be panicking? Because it's going to be the same excuses that they're using right now. You know how I said earlier, it's just preseason. It's just training camp. We're not going to have Gallup. We got some rookies that are barely getting acclimated to the NFL game.
Did RuPaul say that, or
those are going to be the
training
excuses.
Camp.
Training camp, guys.
It's just training.
It's just training camp.
They have them dudes on Twitter sound like that, homie.
Half them dudes, all them dudes. It's just training camp. I'm like,
every time I do that because every time I hear that's how I picture it.
Yeah,
it's just training camp.
I got you. That's the narrative I have in my head.
Yeah, but y'all, you guys are right, and Mario, you're absolutely right, dude. I'm not trying to go against what you're saying there. There's built-in excuses already, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's
Mike McCarthy made sure.
It starts upstairs, all the way down to the coaching, all the way down to the staff, all the way down to the players, all the way down to us. You know what I'm saying? Us as diehards, you get on there, there's going to be so-and-so is going to be jumping off the bridge while the other person's going to be trying to reel them back. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's the way of Cowboys Nation, man. So you take it how you take it, or don't
you take it from us,
or don't represent the star, baby. That's all I gotta say, dog. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, yeah, dog. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be built-in excuses, dog. And I'm sure, man. I'm sure that if we lose convincingly, that it's gonna be a shit hitting the fan real quick.
Because Mike McCarthy is a boss. He's not a leader. Print that.
There you go.
On a shirt. Boom.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, moving on, man, and getting off the bullshit. I want to do something, man. We saw something earlier, man. So I want to do this thing for shits and giggles, everybody. You know what I'm saying? We really don't do this on Talking Boys with the Boys because we don't really believe in the NFL's top 100 that are being voted by players because it's always it's a biased thing, and we all fucking know this, right? So, but today we saw CD come in for the first time at 95, which, you know, I think he should be in my opinion, maybe somewhere along the lines of the 60s. You know what I'm saying? Till he really gets there. But one thing I did see that was in the 60s, guys, was Zack Martin, dog. The president came in at 68 in the NFL's top 100. Oh, and by the way, dog, he's had 0 holding penalties for the 5th year in his career last season. Now we know this is, like I just said, it's a biased fucking list. So what I want to ask you guys is, where should have the president landed? Also, we have 2 guys that we haven't talked about for this list, man. That's Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs. Where do they land?
I mean, I think it's a travesty to have Zack Martin right there.
Thanks, dog. Thanks.
I think it's a travesty to have Zack Martin right there, man. I mean, you think about 32 teams in the league? So there's 32 right guards. He's the best one out of each one of those. He ought to get into the first half of the 50. If you just do simple math, and that's I'll leave. To me, he's the best, pound for pound, the best player in the NFL. Not lineman. Player.
Yes, bro.
So
yes.
I don't get it. I don't like the fucking list in general. And when they come out with Micah, if he's not in the top 20 at least, we're all gonna, go nuts. So
I'm going ape shit, dog. If he ain't in the top fucking 15, shit.
I had to put my black hat on for this topic, man. I had to put my black hat on.
Hell yeah. So
I'd have to see Quentin Nelson. No, I'm saying real quick. I want to see where they have Quentin Nelson, because the past few years, Quentin Nelson is the only guard that I can remember that even touches Zack Martin. So I don't know how they're valuing linemen. Like if Quentin Nelson's 18 and Zack Martin's at 60 some, then that's bullshit. But if it comes out that Quentin Nelson is just below Zack, then I'll be like, you know what? It's bullshit. But the list just tells me they don't value linemen.
But like coming out, Dreezy, Quentin Nelson was being compared to Zack Martin. You know what I mean? Like Quentin Nelson, Zack Martin was a fucking all-pro 3 years before Quentin Nelson even came into the league, and they said maybe he could be as good as Zack Martin one day. So you're right.
Hell yeah.
And just so this list, I mean, I there's a lot of rankings lists, right, that come out all the time, but this one I tend to value a little bit more because it's the actual players. Like, these players are the ones voting, and they go against these guys, and they see them on the field, and they see how they are. But this ranking at 68 is it's terrible, dude. We're talking about Zack Martin is one of the top 2 guards in the league, if not the top one. How could he end up at 68? And it probably comes down to what Dreezy's saying, as far as linemen are just not as valuable as probably quarterbacks and wide receivers and edge rushers and that kind of stuff, which is fine.
All those guys, all those positions.
No, definitely. About total, players in this league, where would Dallas be without Zack Martin right now? With all the questions we have, on the offensive line, with a rookie left guard, a right tackle coming in his first year where is the guy. Zack Martin is the one that we never talk about because we don't have to, because he's the president, because he's an all-pro for years in a row.
Now, if real quick, if that was Tyler Smith coming in at 68, I could see that, and not because he's not a dominant player or half the guy that he used to be.
You mean
Tyron Smith? Yeah, Tyron Smith. I'm sorry.
Goddamn.
I'm agreeing with where they had Tyron. They had Tyron in 97? Didn't they have Tyron in 97 or 95?
92.
Like, come on, man. Look, at one point, look, we don't all love PFF, but it does give you an idea and an inclination of how good a player is.
Definitely.
For like 5 weeks in a row, they were the best at their positions, their individual positions in the NFL.
Yes, bro.
Man, like some of this shit is just fucking laughable sometimes. Mario said something very interesting there because you're right. The players vote on it. But Mario, some of these dudes can be fickle motherfuckers too, man. Some of these dudes can be some fucking petty assholes, dude. I mean, hey, we knew, sometimes they just want to get stuck in their cockiness. And like, okay, who were they talking about last night? Look, I love David Johnson from the Cardinals. Yeah. Right. He's great. His story's amazing, all that. But did y'all hear Chandler Jones talk about him?
No.
Like on that broad, Chandler Jones went, hey, and then he let him cream pie him, bro. I swear to God. I swear to God. And look, and no knock on why he did that, but he did that because the guy came back from cancer. He has an amazing story, and then in comparison to what was going on with Le'Veon Bell, with the Steelers, he starts talking about how good of a guy he is. So he's gushing over it. But I mean, for Chandler Jones to say, I don't want to tackle that dude. Shut the fuck up, dude. You led the NFL in sacks for the past 10 years. Yeah. So they say shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, so by the players, but sometimes them dudes are just pussies.
Yeah. And also you have to realize that the NFL, it's just like any other workplace, right? Like you pretend to like people, but you really don't. So if the players are the ones voting, it doesn't matter how good that guy is. They could be like, fuck that dude.
Absolutely. Man, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't vote Micah very high, man, because we all know Micah ain't about. He's more like the defensive Marshawn Lynch. He's just about his business, boss.
Yeah, that's it. And he's gonna tell you how he is, and he don't even care. Yeah. And a lot of
he don't even care, dog.
Because Micah tells it seems like he'll just tell you straight up, man, like, I'm finna let me go over there and I'll guard you. And dudes, man, you
seriously, dog,
me, shit like that, dog. So you already know that he has just a bad connotation towards him for being being full of himself, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Micah's got a 1-track mind. Violence. That's Micah's 1-track mind.
Yes, sir.
To me, Diggs is an interesting one because if this was sports writers and like TV personalities voting on it, I'd be like, Diggs probably wouldn't even get in the top 100 because, like everyone else on Twitter, they're gonna be like, "What the yards he gave up, blah, all this, whoop de whoop." But the players themselves, the players who are in there every day doing that job, they respect what Trayvon Diggs did. They respect those 11 fucking interceptions. Yeah, they respect it. Ask Jalen Ramsey, the cockiest motherfucker probably in the league. Ask Jalen Ramsey how he feels about Trayvon Diggs. Now, if it was
you tell me who got in whose head.
If it was sports writers that was doing it, nah. But the players voting on it, Diggs could be there, but like in the 40s, man. I'm just saying.
Like Diggs is your favorite corner's favorite corner, bro.
Yeah. Facts, dog.
I mean, facts. So I think that I don't know. That's funny. Too disrespectful.
But we're talking real quick, Dreezy. My only issue with the list is when you're saying these guys are the most dominant guys in the NFL, the top 100. They're the most dominant guys. And you, like we said, the press is one of the most, I mean, if not the most, second, you know what I'm saying? Most dominant guy at his position for what, the last, I don't know how many years now, 5-6 years. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the crazy thing is
since he's been drafted, to be honest with you.
Yeah, since he's been drafted. Okay. So since then, this dude has been fucking up D linemen left and right, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I just stated, man, he's had 0 holding penalties in his career, 5 years, dog. For 5 out of his whole career, 0 penalties, dog. That means this guy's a fucking machine, a monster, dog. And you mean to tell me that his peers are saying, oh, he's the 68th or 68th best guy in the NFL? No, that's fucking bullshit, dog. And that's why I said I'm gonna be livid if they try to tell me that fucking Micah Parsons is not a top 15 guy, dog. I'm gonna be livid because that kid, the dominance that he showed, man, and the dominance that he's showing right now in preseason, dog, or what they're saying about him coming out in the joint practice. Well, it's been one joint practice, but you could tell he's gonna start where he left off, man, and even be better because he's got more in the toolbox now, dog.
So look, man, Zack Martin's in the same paragraph as Larry Allen. Period. Done.
Yes, dog.
Done.
Yes,
done.
dog.
Fucking done.
When you talk about so you and then you're telling me guys like they had Mac Jones in the top 100. Mac Jones is not a top 100 most dominant player, dog.
85, a rookie.
They had a fullback in the top 100, man.
Even like with Tyron, right? So like he came in at 92. And if you look at the clip of the show or whatever, the first person that they asked was Jake Matthews, a fellow offensive tackle from the Falcons. And they were like, who's doing your job the best in the entire NFL? And he was like, Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
So if this guy, who it is his job to be an offensive tackle, just like Tyron Smith is saying, Tyron Smith is the best, how the fuck did he come in at 92? Well, that's crazy.
Hey, but no disrespect. Was he watching film from 2018 or? I mean, he wasn't watching. Watching Tyron.
There was a span of games where he was one of the best in the NFL at his position, Doug. There was.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was.
Oh, the thing about Diggs, right quick though. The fact that the players are voting on this is way different than the sports writers, because I've seen so many different lists this offseason. Diggs is not even listed in people's top 10 DBs. Top 10 DBs, dog.
It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting because there are some guys that play the position like Jalen Ramsey but you got to remember, Jalen Ramsey likes to fuck with people too. He likes to be the sarcastic asshole and tell people shit that they don't want to hear. So it's going to be interesting, man, because Jalen Ramsey will say that, right? But he might say that and some people might not feel that coming from him, and they might just want to say it in the opposite sense just to try to say some bullshit. I don't think Trayvon's going to get the ranking we all think he is, man.
I agree. I don't think. All right, well, let's go around the table real quick, man, so to speak, or let me hear from the homies, the panel, dog. We know that that's a snub according to us here, man, and a lot of people. Zack Martin at 68. Get the fuck out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so let's. I don't want to get a specific number of where, but where. Real quick, I want to get before we end this thing. What range does Micah land on, and what range does Diggs land in?
Okay, I'll go first. I got Micah at 23.
23. Okay.
I got Micah at 23. I got Diggs at 47.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll backdoor. Let me backdoor him real quick. I got Micah. I got Micah in the top 20, dog. I think guys are gonna be like maybe I'm saying high. I mean the back end of the the teens, whatever, 19, maybe even 20, maybe 21, somewhere like that. So I'm just gonna say around that area. Diggs, I do think there's a lot of haters on Diggs, man. So I think he's probably gonna fall around 45, something like that. So yeah, in that range.
For me, man, I mean, y'all are a little humble on this. I got Micah like at 8, bro.
Ew. I mean, I want him at 8. Don't get me wrong, dog. I'm the guy here saying, man, I'm about to burn this bitch down if Micah ain't in the top 10 or the top 15.
Mark said it earlier. He was fucking unstoppable.
Yes.
But I still don't think he fits in the top 10, dog. With his talent wise isn't there. What you hear from guys because you guys are talking about players talking about this. Mm-hmm. They're not going to say that guy's so much faster than me, he got by me. They're not going to say that. They're not going to say that guy's so much stronger than me, he got by me. Mm-hmm. What they want to give people props about is their technique, about how good they are when they prep for things. And I'm not saying that Micah doesn't get those things yet, like he's not working on them, but his technique last year was not there. He was going on piss and vinegar getting to the quarterback. That I watched tape on the dude. He wasn't even using his upper body sometimes. Okay, so that's why I don't think the players are going to say he's top 10. Do I think he's top 10? I don't. No, I don't. Not yet.
Top 20?
No. Top 20? Yes. But I have to see a few more things. And I love Micah, and y'all know that. But I want to see Micah. Okay, when
Mark
Micah
full of shit.
When Micah, y'all motherfuckers. When Micah has the technique that D-Law does, he's top 5.
Okay.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Now Micah should be top 20, but right now, as y'all were talking, I was just doing some I guess say the math in my head, right? So you got a few quarterbacks. You got the Mahomes, you got the Allens, you got Jonathan Taylor, you got receivers, you got Devontae Adams, you got Aaron Donald, you got TJ Watt. So right off the bat, I already got 9 or 10 guys that I know are going to be above Micah.
Yeah.
No, and then you get to the guys that's like, man, like a Chandler Jones, right? Maybe, maybe not. You got Jalen Ramsey.
You're
maybe,
gonna have
maybe not.
You're also going to have a slew of wide receivers as well.
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, which I understand. So
Cooper's
when you start naming the guys,
Devontae Adams. I mean,
Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
You get to 20 real quick just by naming the guys. Justin Jefferson.
No, you're right. And you remember the list that we saw where Micah was like top. Look, this was by a writer, and we all crucified his fucking ass. But they had him as top 25, under 25 at number 12.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
I mean, come on, guys. That wasn't a 10-year-old writing it. We thought it was, but it wasn't a 10-year-old writing it.
But he was a Philly guy. He was the Philly guy.
He was a Philly. Fuck Philly. Yeah.
I can see his face. I don't remember his name.
They're
but I
fucking
can see
retarded.
his profile picture.
Malitos de la madre.
To me, honestly, though, real quick, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter where Mike is on the rankings overall. I just want to know how many defensive players are ranked above him.
That's true.
That's a good one.
To me,
That's a good one, dog. That is. That is.
I want to know how many players under 25 are ranked above him. Defense players above 25. Under 25.
Also that.
Facts, dog. Facts.
Man, look, that list is just fantasy football on steroids, bro. It's really what it is.
Facts, dog.
That's what it is, dog. It's fantasy football on fucking steroids.
Yeah,
all right.
dog.
I love the list. I like looking at it. I like it's good conversational pieces.
It's fun.
It is. But last year, I did not look at the Bucks when we played them, and I was like, that fullback, bro. Y'all see that fucking fullback? That motherfucker's nice. I didn't even notice the fucking fullback jersey, right? And he's in top 100. Like, he might be the best fucking fullback, but seriously, probably a nickelback would do better, more important to a team than a fullback.
Is it the old boy from
the guy for the
49ers? Kyle,
yeah.
I can't say his fucking name. But did we, if I'm not mistaken, Mark, didn't we do something about the top 100 last year at the beginning, like when we first started? It was still the same. It was kind of the same reaction. We're like, man, what the fuck?
Well, we all looked at the other thing we looked at is everybody putting Stafford above Dak right at the beginning of the season.
Oh, yes, that's what it was, dog.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was putting Stafford above Dak, so.
Well, obviously, they fucking knew something we didn't, dog, because that some bitch went and fucking won a goddamn title, dog. Ain't that a bitch? You know what I'm saying? But, hey, Jerry, take notes. That's what you get when you put fucking real talent around your quarterback, right? Hey.
But now Stafford's in the fucking Hall of Fame, right? So who knows?
Hey, what if they go like 5-12? What if the Rams go 5-12? Were they still geniuses and did everything right last year?
No.
Hey, Stafford has that elbow shit going on right now.
You're just as good as your last game, guys. That's what I'm saying. Shit.
All right, fellas. Well, I think it's what's a consensus between me, Dreezy, and Mark. Around the 20s for Micah. That boy Mario Powers Up said 8, right? Is that what you said?
8.
Yeah.
I'm
so
saying,
and Diggs is around what? Falling around the 40s for us, fellas. Is that what we're
yeah. I say so, man. I say so.
All right, fellas.
I got.
Hey, y'all think J-Ron Curse is on the list? No.
He's probably not, but he should be.
He should be, but he's not, dog. They're just not.
He should be.
It's a rough scene out there, especially when you've been in the league for 6-7 years now, dog. And last year was the first year you really produced. And guys don't, like you said, other players don't want to give you that credit. They don't want to be like, this guy really remade himself in this fucking defense. And now he's fucking holding all these fucking tight end ones down, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know who should be on the list that probably isn't going to be on the list? And it would be a really good look at it if they did? Anthony Brown, for what he did last year.
Facts, dog. If he makes the list, bro, I'm going to go ape shit too.
So where's that?
Man,
Yeah. Anthony Brown.
Dak didn't get his Pro Bowl nods later in the season, right? When other people kind of declined theirs. He's a Cowboy. They look at him as having a failure of a season. I don't know. He might be coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah. But what were you saying, Mario?
No, I was saying, like, where do we rank Dak?
Man,
I'm sure that we have different rankings than what these top 100 rankings are.
Mm-hmm.
First 10 games of the season, Dak last year, I rank him in the top 20 to 30 players in the NFL. Last couple games of the season last year, I'm putting him 60, 70.
60, 80, somewhere in there. Yeah, I agree, dog. I'm not just on here being a
At one point last year, at the third game of the season, we were wondering who the best quarterback in the NFL is, Aaron Rodgers or Dak Prescott. I still remember that shit.
Facts, dog.
So.
All right, fellas. Well, let's bring this thing to an end, dog. Everybody out there, man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Like I said, if you haven't yet, go subscribe to the channel. The link's going to be down at the bottom of the corner, man. All you got to do is tap on it. It'll say subscribe. So hit that subscribe button, man. Help a Mexican out. Help a whole bunch of Mexicans out, baby. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know where to find me, dog. I am at Hop DeVille on Twitter, man. That's where I'm mostly active. And the homie at Mario Powers Up over down there, that boy then started a Facebook page, man. So go join that as well, where we can interact with you guys as well, and talk that Cowboys shit this year, man, and have a lot of fun with it. But like I said, I'm at Hop DeVille on Twitter, and that's where I'm most active. If you really want to holler at me there.
Yeah, man. And, I'm Mark D at Mark D's Corner. And, I'm feeling really, really, really right sometimes, not just dreezy, it's not just dreezy, It's not. Some people concede on Twitter and it's real fun. So
yeah. Hell yeah.
Take a picture. It's pretty.
Well, you can find me at that boy Dreezy.
Hey, he said
it was it. He wanted to say, fuck that motherfucker. Hey, you think about it, Mark?
Hey, no, I'm gonna say this. Michael Jordan is 59 years old. He'll fucking whoop your ass one-on-one.
Are you serious, dog? You serious?
No warm up.
You see what?
No warm up.
Pull no warm up. He's
yamming ass.
Dreezy ain't never seen me play basketball. Everybody, ever.
Yeah, not once. I sure have. I saw you in your prime, dog. What are you talking about?
And you still say that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Mario,
you gotta understand my mentality, Dreezy. In my prime, I think I could score on Kobe. In his prime.
I get it. You're wrong, but I get it. I love it, but I get it.
Hell yeah.
I'm Mario. You can find me on Twitter at Mario Powers Up. It's right there on the screen.
Mama Lon.
Talking Cowboys, talking shit. And like Adam said, go over to Facebook and like our page, Talking Boys with the Boys. Come in and discuss Cowboys news with us.
Hey, real quick, we also have an IG page on Instagram at Talking Boys with the Boys. And real quick, if you're just listening and you go to YouTube, it's at official Talking Boys with the Boys. So if you're not putting that official, we're not going to pop up. But like I said, you can always just click on the vid when we drop it and scroll down to the bottom right there. And the link is right there, baby. It's easy. Just hit that subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
I'll pop Mike's knee out of socket.
This guy's still talking.
I have all 240 pounds of his ass going right.
It's and Instagram is for more than just following hoes, man. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Hell yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Hey. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for rocking with Talking Boys with the Boys. And real quick though, if you ain't rocking with Talking Boys with the Boys, then you ain't with the cartel, baby. Boom.
Yo, I swear to God, I'll knock MJ's fucking left knee out of socket.
Dog, Jordan.